I'm about to tell you could completely change how we understand ourselves. I used to be an ordinary geneticist working at the International Genome Research Institute in Geneva, until one day when we discovered what I call the truth of the three genetic lines. Imagine sitting in a laboratory, looking at a computer screen, and realizing that everything you know about human evolution is wrong. That's exactly what happened to me. We were analyzing DNA from 10,000 blood samples worldwide to create a global genetic map. But instead of seeing a homogeneous population, we discovered three completely different genetic groups, too different to be the result of natural evolution. I remember that moment like it was yesterday. Dr. Lisa Chen, my colleague, was pointing at the screen with wide eyes. "Michael, look at this. The first genetic line has 12 special chromosome pairs we've never seen before. The second line has a completely different protein structure, and the third line seems to be a combination of both." After 6 months of frantic research, we identified three distinct genetic lines. Line Alpha, comprising 40% of the world's population. These people have incredible self-healing abilities. I once witnessed an Alpha line patient recover from a deep wound in just 3 days, while a normal person would need 3 weeks. They live longer, are healthier, and have superior emotional intelligence. Line Beta, 35% of the population. These are the geniuses. Their average IQ is 25 points higher than normal people. They can process information at incredible speeds and remember everything with extraordinary precision. Line Gamma, the remaining 25%. They are the bridges. They have the ability to communicate and understand both other lines in ways we still can't explain. But the most frightening thing? We discovered that these genetic lines couldn't have appeared naturally. Someone or something had created us. When we published our research, the world turned upside down. I still remember the first press conference. Questions came like hail. How do we know which genetic line we belong to? What does this mean? Are we aliens? Within 6 months, private companies started offering genetic line testing services. For $500, you could find out who you really were. I'll never forget the feeling when I tested myself. The result, Line Gamma. That explained why I always felt I could understand everyone. But what I didn't anticipate was that the division would start from here. First came the purists, led by Dr. Marcus Steele, a line beta person with an IQ of 180. He believed that each genetic line should maintain its purity. I once met Steele at a conference. He told me, "Michael, don't you understand? We are 3 different species disguised as one. Mixing will destroy what makes each line special." The second faction was the unifiers, led by Dr. Elena Vasquez, a line gamma woman like myself. She believed that strength lay in combination. "Just imagine," she said, "children with alpha line healing abilities, beta line intelligence, and gamma line empathy." But the most dangerous faction was the revolutionaries. They believed this discovery was an opportunity to remake the world. Their leader, Sarah Chen, a former Line Alpha officer, once said, "Current governments were established by people who didn't know the truth. Now we know, it's time to create a new order." I began to notice alarming changes. Families were breaking apart when they learned they belonged to different genetic lines. I received hundreds of emails from people asking whether they should marry someone from the same line. A heartbreaking example, the Johnson family. Father was Line Alpha, mother was Line Beta, son was Line Gamma. The 16-year-old boy wrote to me, "Dr. Harrison, am I a monster? My parents keep looking at me like I'm a stranger." Things got worse when cities began dividing along genetic lines. Tokyo created a beta zone exclusively for high IQ individuals. New York had an alpha zone with specialized hospitals. London established a gamma center for mediators. But what I feared most happened: violence. I was in Berlin when the first attack occurred. A revolutionary faction group attacked the European Genome Research Institute. They believed scientists were hiding the truth about the real origins of the 3 genetic lines. I ran from my hotel and saw the city burning. But strangely, amid the chaos, I witnessed incredible moments. A group of Alpha Line people were rescuing the wounded at unbelievable speed. Beta Line people were coordinating rescue operations with military precision. And Gamma Line people like me were mediating, helping everyone communicate and cooperate. That's when I realized we weren't created to fight each other. We were created to complement each other. During the darkest months of the war, my secret research team and I continued searching for answers. We analyzed DNA deeper and discovered something unbelievable. In each genetic line, we found a special encoded sequence, like a signature embedded within. When we decoded it, it was a message. Humans of the future, we are your ancestors from 50,000 years ago. When Earth faced catastrophe, we created 3 genetic lines to ensure survival. Alpha for healing, beta for thinking, gamma for connecting. You are only strong when united. That's when I understood the genetic war wasn't destiny. It was a wrong choice. I decided to do something that could cost me my life, reveal the truth about the message in our DNA. I organized a global live broadcast from a secret location. People of the world, I said, we have misunderstood. The 3 genetic lines weren't meant to divide us. They were created so we could complement each other. Each genetic line is part of the same grand picture. The reaction wasn't immediate, but gradually, things began to change. Families started reuniting. Intergenetic line couples held public weddings. Children from all 3 genetic lines played together in parks. The most beautiful thing I witnessed was the birth of the 4th generation. Children born from parents of different genetic lines. They had healing abilities, high intelligence, and deep empathy. Today, the world is different. We still have our differences, but we understand that those differences make us stronger. I stand here in the lab where it all began and look out at a world where alphas are doctors who save lives, betas are scientists who tackle climate change, and gammas are diplomats who mediate conflicts. But most importantly, we have learned a valuable lesson. Diversity is not a weakness, it is a strength. No matter where we come from the stars, from ancient civilizations, or from natural evolution, we are all human. And as humans, we are strongest when we stand together, not against each other. The story of the 3 genes does not end here. Every day we learn more about ourselves. But now we discover that we are family, not enemies. I am Dr. Michael Harrison, and this is the story of how humanity nearly destroyed itself because it didn't understand itself. But it is also the story of how we learned that true strength lies in unity, not division.